What's going on, guys? It's your boy Alex from Youthful Perspectives, and today we're going to be talking about what I put up in the title. I don't need to say it again because it's up there. So let's hop right in to the meat of this video. Now I'm going to start off by sharing with you kind of a story, or it's not really a story, it's just kind of a thing of the world, in order to give you an example and hop straight into the practicalities of what I'm going to say. So there's a species, okay? There's an animal that lives kind of all over the world, but it lives every second of every minute of every day of every week of every month of every year that it lives, thinking to itself, I am useless. Why am I here? There is no point in me living on this piece of rock. I am a waste of space. I don't need to be here. I am useless. That's all it thinks to itself. Without knowing, okay, it doesn't know, but this species, this animal, has the entirety of everything living on its shoulders. Metaphorically, obviously. Everything else in the every living thing in the entirety of the world depends on this species, unknowingly. Or maybe knowingly, I don't quite know what animals think, but it's super important for us humans as well as every other animal thing. I'm sure you got that when I said the entirety of living things. Anyway, this animal is the worm. What worm? Well, those little things just that do nothing, the unimportant, they do nothing. They just literally just worm. That's all they do. And that's what the worm thinks as well. It's like, I'm useless, what do I do? You think, oh, it's useless, what does it do? When in reality, it is like useful, very useful. As it goes about through the earth, you don't need to know what a worm does, but I'm just going to say anyway, what it does is it goes through the earth, and it decomposes, and it kind of allows nutrients to get into the soil, it fertilizes it, etc, etc, so the soil is able for plants to grow in, and then animals eat the plants, and we can grow it and stuff, so that's how it's useful. But anyway, a worm is one of the most useful things, and most things don't even realize it. Now, why I'm sharing this with you is to show you that even a worm, the tiny, insurmountable, don't know if that's a word, I think I just made it up, don't know what it means either. Anyway, the tiny little worm, unimportant worm that you don't even notice most of the time, is one of the most important things, and has one of the most important roles, and is extremely useful. Then what's the chances of you realizing how useful you are? You're never going to know how useful you really are. But the worm is being a worm. It's not trying to be anything else. It's not trying to be more useful. It is just worming. And you just need to be you. Because if a worm tried to be something else, tried to be useful in some other way, it wouldn't do its job. It would become unuseful in the attempt to be useful. And that's what's going to happen to you. If you try to be something that's not you, then you're probably not going to be as useful to the world as you could be if you were just being yourself. You need to live your life and live the life that you've always wanted. Everything has a purpose. A worm has a purpose. Ants have purposes. Bees have purposes. Who likes bees? They sting and it hurts. Okay, but they have one of the most important purposes as well. So you have a purpose. Everything on earth has a purpose. I've said that once, I'll say it again. Everything on earth has a purpose. So don't think to yourself that you're useless. Don't think to yourself you're a waste, because you're not. Even if you don't realize it. Look, if you went back in time and you had the ability to study every aspect of your life, you still wouldn't realize when you were useful to someone. So you just being you just living you, you're going to be useful, even if you don't recognize it. That's your ego. I don't want to get into it, but in order to just be yourself and be useful being you, you need to let go of your ego, because the ego is what associates with kind of, you do something in order to understand and realize you're like, oh yes, I am useful, yes, that makes me feel happy. That's your ego. You need to drop that ego and have the faith that you being you is being useful. You smiling to someone on the street might save their life. They might just think, God, someone's smart, there is faith, there's a point in living. You might just do that. I read that in the book that I got this idea from. That's why it's a little bit far out there. But anyway, you don't know what effect you're having, is the main point. You are useful. Yeah. Don't think you're not useful. Don't think it's pointless you being here with us, because it's not. You being yourself is everything that is needed from you. The world wants nothing else from you. Gotta be honest. I mean, I spoke to him, I phoned him up the other day, and the world, he doesn't want anything else from you but yourself. So give it what it wants. Just be yourself. Don't be more useful than you think. Don't be as useful as you think you should, because most people, I'm rambling. Don't worry about being useful. Be yourself and you will be useful, okay? If you liked, leave it. Leave it. Show me you liked it. If you have a question you want answering or a topic you want talking about, leave it in the comments. Please subscribe for more. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.